I have 9 kids.
Asian parent reacts.
Okay, I have 9 kids, so he's smiling?
The son is saying that I have 9 kids. And then Pluto says, I'm majoring in English.
Yeah.
And then the son says, I have 8 kids.
Oh, because he just lost a kid because he decided to major in English. Wow. Well, you kids, that's very subtle. I mean, it's very subtle, it's perversity.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't really know why it became so popular.
Yeah, exactly. Right, I know. But I kind of get it in a way. You know what it's about?
It's very extra.
I think I know what it's about. It's about is the intersection of like fastidiousness and kind of precision with a suspension of masculinity. So Sherlock Holmes in the original, it's very difficult to distinguish Sherlock Holmes, the character Sherlock Holmes, from Oscar Wilde, or from a 19th century aesthete. It's all about precision. It's all about like friends of mine who are really into design and really into like basically sort of into like they'll come to my apartment, they say, this room hurts my eyes. It hurts my eyes. And the fact that I'm friends with you is just a testament to love because your taste is so bad. It hurts my eyes. And just little colors being wrong. Or being at this bar once with this guy. And I said, he was really into this other guy. I said, well, go meet him. He said, I can't get rid of the shoes. That sense, you know what I mean, combined with that sense, is identified with a kind of scientific precision, or becomes conflated with a kind of scientific. So the detective looking for clues, very precise clues, right? You're all about the precision, all about the what was the phrase that the editors like to use? Getting granular, right? You with me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Boom! very witty. When you're anxious but try to act cool. Oh God. I used to be anxious, so much more anxious than I am now. I really was. But this I get. And that's one thing that I can really relate to with kids, no matter what the generation. Everyone's so afraid. I so get that. You know what I mean? It reminds me of this when I was in college once. This girl, it was a Saturday night, and I can't even tell you all the things that were going on, but remember the drinking age was 18. And this girl was doing this like comedy routine. It was just for me and one other person in the basement of somebody's room. And in the basement of some dorm. And I was laughing so hard, I was about to pass out. And she looks at me, just on a dime, she just turns. I'm laughing really hysterically, and she says, it's really hard. It really hurts, doesn't it, Jeff? And I burst into tears, because it does. And there's that kind of thing. When you don't...
Show you their props.
That's a little wishful, since for me at least, real life is much frickin' worse, right? I mean, oh my God, I have these friends. I hate this about my friends. I have very subversive friends, and they'll look at these pictures of me where I look like hideous, like Count Chocula, and they'll say, "Oh, that's such a good picture of you. That's just so real." It's like, real. So what if it's so real? So what if it's so? I don't want to be so real. So that way, that's the tiger, and that's the real life. That's so cute. That's youth. That's youth. You get to an age where it's just the other way around. Where the main thing I learned a few years ago, about 20 years ago, a woman called Kathy Lee Gifford, before your time, she was called before the Senate because even though she had all this, it doesn't matter. She was like a TV personality, and she was running some sort of operation with like really, really sort of exploiting labor somewhere in Chinatown. So they bring her before the Senate, and she suddenly looks like the bride of Frankenstein. And I realized one crucial thing: it's all about controlling your lighting. This friend of mine says. We're watching a high def once. We're watching some guy on TV, a commercial. He says, Jeff, I want you to watch this really carefully. He says, look at this. You can see the work had done here. But the reason why he was doing that is that he was terrified. I said, let me get this straight. You think I'm such a shallow fool that I'm going to sit around, that I'm going to go back and actually do plastic surgery. And he was like, it was a cautionary tale against and he was right. 53.4 self-identified people of color, biracial and multiracial students. 64 come from public schools. And 17 will be the first in their families to attend college. 23% of those admitted are eligible for federal Pell Grants for low-income students. Also, Princeton. Nice. Good one. Oh, that is actually very witty. That's very witty. I get it. And I know these people, too. Oh, God! Why do you deal with concours? How do you... I do my best now to manage some traffic. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Between guys, and I mean I do, because I'm very mindful of that. That's something because I'm a very bossy, guy myself. For all of my otherness. You know what I mean? I'm very bossy and whatever, guy. Yeah, see, now you don't even know who William Shatner is. That's the funny thing, and the part of this story. You don't even know who that is, do you?
I do not.
Isn't that funny? Oh my God, we live in such different worlds. It reminds me of a great movie that you've never heard of either. I mean, there's a reason why it wasn't even that big when it was around, when it first came out. It was called Save the Tiger with Jack Lemmon. And there's this one scene, Jack Lemmon, sort of World War II Jen, and he gets high one night with this girl, hippie girl, and the hippie girl happens to have, because she's a hippie, she has, she's this hippie chick, she has weed, and so they get stoned. He's never done it before, and he starts listing all his cultural references, and they're just, he's just sublimely engaged with these cultural references, and this and that, and Veronica Lake, and and 23 Skidoo, and this, that, and the other, all these things he knows by heart, all this music, all this world, all this kind of, and she's listing all the things, DiMaggio, this, that, and the other, and she's just watching him, and she's looking at him, not unkindly, but completely as if he's speaking from an ancient, as if he's someone speaking from a world long gone by, an ancient world, you know what I mean? And she's looking at him, and she's condoling him, or she's compassionating him in her mind, because she can see that he's lonely, that there's something really lonely about the fact that he's completely gone off. I mean, he's in this world now which exists only for him and for very few other people. He's like this sort of down in this sort of, pressured advertising executive, this, that, and the other. But there's this world, this joyful world, but it exists only in his mind now.